The NFL announced on Tuesday that former league MVP Adrian Peterson will not play again in 2014. He'll serve out the final 6 weeks of the year with an unpaid suspension, a penalty that will cost him about $4.1 million as punishment for Peterson's child abuse incident involving discipline of his 4-year-old son. But Peterson's case is far from over as he becomes a very high-profile pawn in yet another battle between the NFL Players Union and the league. The 6-game suspension for Peterson is consistent with the revised penalties for domestic and family violence incidents that Roger Goodell announced in August, and it's a sign that the league is serious about imposing its own discipline, even if that means it's a more severe punishment than what happened through law enforcement. Indeed, Adrian Peterson avoided jail time completely in this case after he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. But Roger Goodell, in his letter to Peterson, said he didn't believe that Peterson had shown adequate remorse or evidence that he had learned from his actions. And Goodell wants Peterson to go through mandatory counseling to make sure that a similar incident doesn't happen in the future. Peterson and the NFL Players Association have demanded that a neutral arbitrator hear his appeal instead of Roger Goodell, and this act of neutral arbitration has been a major sticking point between the league and the union in recent years. Well, right now, the NFL is undergoing the process of overhauling its personal conduct policy, something that would lay out more specified rules and punishments for incidents involving domestic and family violence. The union wants that personal conduct policy to be collectively bargained. But right now, the power still stands with Roger Goodell alone. The next critical step in this case, of course, is going to be Peterson's appeal. But if his suspension stands, he'll be required to start counseling on December 1st, and the earliest that he could be reinstated back into the NFL is April 15th. Let's remember that Peterson remains under contract with the Minnesota Vikings through 2017. But here's the interesting part. The Vikings owe him no more guaranteed money. That brings his future with the Vikings into doubt.